Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest Manchester United news and transfer news. Paul Pogba wants out to PSG and developments around Camavinga and Varane to bring you from Fabrizio Romano as well. But let's start off with this Paul Pogba news. It is coming from a decent source. It's coming from Mohamed MUFC, who is a French journalist, which we've mentioned many a time on this channel. In fact, he was the main credible source that broke the Camavinga to Manchester United story over a week ago. So his French connections are very, very strong. And what he's saying is that Paul Pogba is more and more willing to join PSG. There is contact between PSG and the player, but not yet concrete with Manchester United. The fee will be less than 80 million euros, but there is a dilemma whether it should be signed now or for free in a year. Now, this fits in, well, look, to start off with, it's a very good French source saying that a French player is going to go to a French club. You've got a three-way there, Bahafsi, Pogba and PSG. That is quite concrete in itself. It also fits in with what we know about Jadon Sancho, Raphael Varane and Camavinga, in the sense that Camavinga will come to United, Varane will come to United, and Sancho will come to United. That doesn't mean they're all going to sign, but Varane, personal terms, not a problem. Camavinga, personal terms, not a problem. Sancho, personal terms, were never a problem. This is what we're getting with this. Paul Pogba, PSG, personal terms, not a problem. Can you deal with Manchester United? Not a problem with Varane. Can we deal with Madrid? Not a problem with Camavinga. Can we deal with Rennes? And I think that's where we're starting to get to. And I think it's sad. Wayne Finnegan says, no matter the cost, United must buy Declan Rice. I think it's very, very sad that that this situation is developing, because there'll be people who don't want to listen to this. There'll be people going, oh, I don't believe it. It's just paper talk. But it's Mohamed Bahafsi. It's a French club and it's a French player. I don't think it's just Daily Star stuff. I think this is... I've been talking about this for a couple of weeks with Pogba. The PSG thing just seems a little bit worrying. I'd hoped that Pogba wouldn't fancy the project, but look, PSG are acting like a big club. I said this before. Donnarumma, Wijnaldum, Hakimi, Ramos. They've made 4 signings, and we've bought Jadon Sancho. Like, they're not messing about, PSG, and they've already got a bloody great side anyway. So they're not messing about in this transfer market, and they are selling a project to Pogba, and Pogba is looking for a project. Now, that project can be Manchester United, but it might be somebody else. And PSG are selling him a project at the moment that I think is a little bit worrying. And it is starting to develop. And the point is, we know Raiola. We know he'll have spoken to Real Madrid, Juventus, lots of clubs about whether they like Pogba or not. And PSG at the moment are the club that's making the move. Pogba has wanted to go. Now, if you go back to January... I don't want Pogba to go, by the way. I'm not happy with this at all. I think it's a bad thing for United. And I would go as far as to say, and I might be in the minority here, that if we sell Pogba and we get Sancho, that's a step backwards. I do. I like Sancho, but he's not a centre midfielder. Our centre midfield is weak, absolutely weak. And I think that that Pogba leaving the club does worry me. But then again, some people think it's a good thing. Good riddance, says Ram. You know, you're going to get different opinion. If Pogba goes, I don't think we'd do bad to get Sabitzer, who was saying looks to be on his way out of Leipzig, says Joshua Bowles. I mean, yeah, you'd get him on the cheap as well. Could it also be that Pogba's waiting on the signings we make and then take a call, says Kanishka. Yeah, I don't think this Pogba deal will happen quickly, and I think that's a good point. He's got to be... Pogba will assess his options. We've said that before. But PSG... As Mohamed Bahafsi has said, PSG is becoming more and more a project that Pogba wants. And we know that Pogba wants to leave United, and we know he's wanted to leave United for the last 2 years. That's been very, very public. Now, what we know from January is that Paul Pogba, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, sat down after Riola's disgusting outburst in December, the night before the Leipzig game, saying that he'll never sign a contract and he doesn't want to be here. Pogba and Ole sat down, and Ole and Pogba basically agreed professionalism was the way forward. Effectively, the conversation went like this. Paul, please be quiet, focus on the pitch, and in the summer, we'll give you your move if you want it. And Pogba was respectful to that and professional. And obviously Pogba, from January until the end of the season, played very well for Manchester United mostly, and was very professional. And that was the conversation that happened between Paul Pogba, Manchester United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It was be quiet, be humble, be professional, and we'll assess this in the summer. And Pogba did that, and United did that. And now we're probably going to get, well, we are going to get the outcome of what Pogba wants. Now, if Pogba was like, look, I'll be humble, I'll be professional, but I'm still leaving in the summer, then that might be what we're about to get now. If Pogba's like, let's have a look at the project, I'll see what's happening at United, then maybe there's hope. But I think that we are heading towards a Paul Pogba exit, and I think that's very, very sad. If we can change that, again, we put ourselves into the... We're hypocrites in a sense, because we want Pogba to change his mind and stay, but we want Varane to not change his mind and leave Real Madrid, and they've both got a year left on their contract. This is music to Donny's ears. His time to step up, says Ashtush. Yeah, and I think that's a very good point about Donny. We will be talking about Camavinga in a minute. No player is bigger than the club, says Top Dog. Oh, 100%. Look, if Paul Pogba wants to go, he goes. You know, Ronaldo left. Rooney didn't leave. Van Nistelrooy left. Beckham left. Big players have left this club. And if Pogba wants to go, there's absolutely nothing we can do about it. It's disappointing, but he's got the power. But I suppose you could say you've got an example here of United haven't yet. And look, again, it's all about opinion. Some people will tell you United are having a great summer transfer window. I would say, hold on a minute. Is it not July the 8th? What have we done in this transfer window that's been open for 6 weeks? We brought Jadon Sancho. Oh, was that last summer's signing now? Yep. Kept Mata on a new contract. Kept Grant on a new contract. Bought Heaton in on a freebie. Wow, happy days. You may as well hand us the Premier League trophy now. And as I say, you've got PSG, who are absolutely desperate to win the Champions League. They want to win the French League. They didn't win the French League, but they want to win the Champions League. What have PSG done to a team that's got Neymar and everybody in it already? Let's get Ramos in. Let's get Hakimi in. Let's get Donnarumma in. Let's get Wijnaldum in. There's a project for you, Paul. Do you fancy being the focal point of a team that's got Ramos in it, Hakimi in it, Wijnaldum in it, Verratti in it, Neymar in it, Mbappe in it, Donnarumma's in it, Marquinhos is in it, Kimpembe's in it, maybe even Ronaldo's going to be in it. I mean, you know, what a team they're building, and also what an efficient way of doing it. And maybe Pogba is looking at that. It doesn't matter, he's not used properly anyway, this is irony. And I'd rather have Pogba if that means we are getting a CDM. CDM, Bruno, Donny and Camavinga for Ed McTominay midfield works. That's not the best, but I'll take it with Varane signing, says Angie S. I'm going to be consistent and say that if Pogba leaves, this is a big loss for Manchester United. He is one of the best midfielders in the world. I've always said that, and I firmly believe he is. Okay, all right, the consistency is a problem, but I still think... I mean, look, I always think of Herrera when Herrera left, and I remember a few people saying to me, oh, I'm not bothered about Herrera leaving, there's better midfielders than him. And I can hear it again. Well, I'm not bothered about Pogba leaving because there's better midfielders than him. Yeah, but who's been left behind? McTominay, Fred, they're not Paul Pogba. You lose Paul Pogba, hello more of McFred, basically. Instead of dragging it out, sell Pogba and get Grealish, says Wayne Finnegan. And look, imagine we do get Varane, we do get Sancho, and we do get Camavinga, and we sell Pogba. Camavinga won't start because he's 18. You know he's hardly going to play. So you play Varane and Maguire at the back, good. You put Sancho on the right wing, good. But then you still play McFred in the midfield. And that might be the problem. Pogba... Mark, what do you think about what did Pogba do in 4 years as you're here? Well, I mean, it's all about opinion. As I said, I don't want Pogba to go. Keeping Pogba, signing Camavinga and Varane with Sancho is probably our best transfer window of the decade. Sounds too good to be true. Last summer bummed me about United transfer strategy, says Angie S. Yeah, I think keeping Pogba is going to be very, very difficult. And as you said, if you're tuning in a little bit late, French credible outlet, Mohamed Bahafsi, he's not an outlet, he's actually a journalist, is saying that Paul Pogba is more and more open to a move to PSG, that the fee could be around less than 80 million euros, but there is a dilemma if he should be signed now or for free in a year. And look, he might wait a year. And before I give you the news on Camavinga, remember, my stance has always been that he'll run his contract down because the money, the P's, is going to be huge. When United don't get 40 million for a player, a year later that player can say, well, there was 40 million you were going to give to me. Give it to me and Mino. We're in the money. So I do think he could run his contract down, and I would ask you, do you think it's a good thing for Pogba to go this summer or go next summer? And I think that it's good for him to go this summer. I don't want him to go at all, but I don't like the idea of Paul Pogba at United next season because we know he's going. So he's not part of the future plan. We know he's going to go. And also, with 1 year left on his contract, 50-50 tackle in the Manchester derby against Fernandinho, and whoever wins that tackle is going to go on and score a goal. Is Pogba going to go into that 50-50 tackle? knowing that he's out of contract in a few months' time and that a bad injury could ruin that. I don't think you get a committed player in the final year of their contract. It's the same as having a manager in the final year of their contract. Is that commitment there? I don't think it is. Mark, I'm worried of the signings we're making. How is our record signing this season getting benched by Arsenal youngster? Southgate knows, says Bubby. And Mark, I'm worried of the signings we're making. Yeah, that's from Bubby. And I don't mind Pogba leaving. He was too inconsistent and you never know which Pogba would turn up. Rice and Kammer in Pogba leaving is a good deal, says Michael Thackeray. Well, you know, if Pogba leaves, do we buy a replacement or is it just going to be Camavinga? I don't know. I think you'd need 2 players to come in that instance. As for Sancho against Saka, I think Sancho, I'm more than happy with Sancho. Look, let Arsenal fans gloat about Saka starting for England. I mean, they never finish higher than 8th. Like, this is not about clubs, that's about international football. Not interested in that. If selling Pogba will let us get Grealish, are you okay with that, says Desmond? We're not going to get Grealish. I think more about commitment from the club than Pogba, says Chris Pankhurst. And if Pogba wants to leave, he should leave. Enough of Raiola disrespecting the club the past few years. We have always rebuild after someone leaves, says Ken. Have we really, Ken? Ken, I don't know whether... Have you been in a coma, Ken? Manchester United always rebuild after somebody leaves, do they? Okay, what year is it, Ken? Are you worrying me, Ken? Tell us the year, Ken, because if you say it's 2002, you've got a really big wake-up call. Manchester United always rebuild after players leave. What happened when Ronaldo left? We didn't replace that. We didn't replace Herrera. We're crap at rebuilds in the last 10 years, I'm afraid. We're not very good at rebuilds. We've won nothing. We've won absolutely nothing in the last 8 years. We're not of note. We're not... Bloody hell, Ken, says Yup. We're not great at rebuilds, Ken. We're really not. Anyway, that's the latest with Paul Pogba, as I say. There are some other updates I need to bring you. Hey, Mark, how do you feel about Sabitzer from Leipzig? We are forced to sell. Why not come and have Sabitzer? He's not bad of a player. I like Sabitzer, that boy Juice. I do like Sabitzer, yeah. But we'll see. If Pogba goes, you would hope there's more of a replacement than Camavinga. Manchester United have effectively parked plans to recruit a long-term number 9 after Edison Cavani agreed to have his contract extended by a year. That's from Manchester Evening News. And Romano, Varane to Manchester United and he's their first choice, but there is still no agreement with Madrid, blah, blah, blah. Ancelotti will try to convince Varane to stay, who so far has made it clear his desire to a new experience. This is all from Romano. Camavinga is the priority for Manchester United. Negotiation is ready to start with Rennes. Camavinga has no intention of renewing. That's why United wants to try and take advantage of it and put on the table an offer for him. He's waiting. PSG have been following him for months and are in the race to sign him. Man United, however, are progressing with their plans for a talent considered the perfect purchase for the short and long term. That's from Fabrizio. Camavinga is appreciated by everyone at Manchester United and could be an ideal player for the United's rebuild. Be important to understand Rennes' request. The club rumours around the club speak of a 30 to 35 million euro bid as being enough for United to get him. So look, I mean that's a very positive update from Romano there about Camavinga, that United are advanced and that there is interest from PSG and maybe a few others. But United are advanced and they're looking to advance it, and that just goes back to what we said this morning about Camavinga, and it fits in with what I was told last night that United are going to have to move quick on this deal. They've got to move quick, because if they delay, other people will get involved. So they've got to move quick, and it sounds like we're looking to move quick. He's also back in pre-season training with Rennes as well, so there's no benefit. If Man United are going to buy Camavinga and he's already back in pre-season training, he may as well be pre-season training with United. There's Varane or a Declan Rice are on holiday or they're still playing in the Euros. You can see why there's a bit of a delay in that. But Rennes and Camavinga are back in pre-season training. He's training at Rennes. He may as well be training at United. There's no reason not to get cracking with this deal. Mark, I think the Glazers are mugging us all off, says Andy and Bruno. They've not got Varane or Camavinga, bought Sancho, granted, but kept more players than they should have, says Andy and Bruno. Mate, the reality is, the proof is in the pudding. I've said this before. This amazing summer that we're having, that some people want to shout from the rooftops at, I wonder if they've got Neil Ashton on speed dial. Like, why is everybody singing and celebrating and spinning this transfer window? It's not a good transfer window for United. It's not. We've gotten rid of no deadwood. Nobody has gone from this club yet. That to me is not a good thing. Nobody's gone. No one. And at the end of last season, we were all talking about 7 or 8 players going. Nobody's gone, and I don't think they're going to go. Why would Matic not have gone by now? Why would Mata have not gone by now? Well, we know Mata's not going, but why would they not have gone? They're not playing internationals. They've had their holiday. They're back pre-season. Why would they have not have gone? Why would Lingard not have gone by now? Why would Pereira not have gone by now? You know, these players. Dan James is going to be back soon. Why would he not be gone? Because they're not going to go, are they? So it's not a great summer. We've not recruited. We've not removed any deadwood. We've bought Jadon Sancho, which was a deal we should have done last summer, and that is it. And even that's not official yet. It will happen, but it's not official yet. We are hyped on speculation, and until we start buying some of these players and removing some of the deadwood, you can't say it's been a good window yet. Mark, what is this myth that Pogba's been inconsistent, says HKN? I would like anyone to mention one player that's been more consistent than Pogba since he's been at Manchester United. He's been one of our most consistent players since joining. If he hasn't, please name them, says HK Music. Well, Bruno Fernandes has been more consistent than Paul Pogba straight away. I mean, look, I'm a big fan of Paul Pogba, HK Music, but I'm not going to sit here and lie. He's not been consistent in a United shirt. 50% of the time he's been decent, and 50% of the time he's been a bit lost. I'm a massive Paul Pogba fan, but I'm not going to lie and say he's been consistent. He's not been consistent in a United shirt. I think he's admitted it himself. Fantastic player. I think he needs better players around him. But no, I can't sit here and say he's been one of our most consistent players. That would be bullshit. You know, for every Man City performance where we were 2-0 down at half-time and he was brilliant in the second half, the following week he plays shit against West Brom. You know, Pogba has struggled with consistency. But where you are right is there's been a lot of United players that have struggled with consistency as well. There's been a lot of United players that have been overplayed, and I think Pogba's been overplayed at times as well. So you're probably hitting the nail on the head. I think Pogba has been inconsistent, but I think a lot of other people have been as well. How about the Rice, Camavinga or Donny and Bruno in the midfield, says Naranjan. I don't know why we're talking about Declan Rice. I don't know why we keep talking about Declan Rice. There's a lot of people talking about Declan Rice, and I don't know why. I don't know why we're talking about Declan Rice. There's nothing on about Declan Rice at the moment, and I don't think we'll be getting Declan Rice, so I don't know why people are talking about Declan Rice. Pogba's been at United for 5 years. Bruno just joined, says HK Music. No. Bruno's been here 18 months, mate. Time flies, doesn't it? Time flies. And anyway, Bruno Fernandes' first year at Manchester United was elite, let's be honest. Mark, any news on Martial? Will he really leave? And do you know that 4 first goalkeepers set to fight out, says Sharwin? Nothing on Martial at the moment. I don't think he's going to leave United, but who knows? Who knows? Somebody's got to bloody leave it. We've got to. What was it I said the other day? 24 senior players at Manchester United, and that's not including any youngsters like Ahmad or anything like that. We've got 24 senior players at Manchester United, all on good players. We've got more than 2 teams, and so much deadwood. So much deadwood. Twan Sebi, I think, is going to go. Labille. I think Twan Sebi will go to Villa, probably on loan again. And Lewandel says, I'd rather have Bruno leave than Pogba. Well, that's why people like you are prats, basically, because why are we talking about you'd rather Bruno go than Pogba? I mean, what genuine United fan sits there and goes, I'd rather get rid of Bruno than Pogba? What context, please, and why? Why are you dividing your players up? We're talking about Paul Pogba wanting to go to PSG, according to French journalist Mohamed Bahafsi, and then somebody starts going, I'd rather Bruno went than Pogba. Well, I tell you what, jump into the reality bath, because Pogba wants to leave United and Bruno doesn't. So why are you talking about you'd rather lose Bruno than Pogba? It's a prat comment at the end of the day. And it's these sort of pratty comments that divide our fan base up. Because I've got no problem with criticism of a player when they're not performing in a shirt. But why start bringing Bruno Fernandes into... Why is it so many people are obsessed with Bruno Fernandes, by the way, as well? I don't get it. Bruno's been our best player. Well, let's not talk about Bruno. People can't deal with it. Lewandale says he's sorry. No, I'm only messing about. Grealish waiting for the Euros to be over. Will stay at Villa or sign for United. Have some faith, Mark. Stranger things have happened. Never say never, says Dro Reactions. Mate, if there was absolutely anything that we were in for Jack Grealish, I would tell you, but we are not. And that's it. Chris says, I'd rather Matic, Mata, McTominay leave than Pogba. And I don't trust this board to replace players properly, says James Wilson. Look at Lukaku, Herrera and even Ronaldo. We're an elite club who haven't had a dedicated right winger in many years. I just think that Pogba probably will go. Maybe it won't happen till next summer, but he will go. And I think that we've only got Jadon Sancho at the moment, and we've not removed any deadwood. And is that a good transfer window right here and right now? Positive people will say there's plenty of time, Mark, and there is. Negative people will say, well, they've always failed in the transfer windows, and they're right as well. We don't know what's going to happen over the next few weeks, but we can only live in a reality. And the reality is most of our targets are not playing in the Euros. Most of our targets are gettable. And at the moment, we've only got Jadon Sancho. We've got no centre-back, we've got no midfielder, we've got no backup right-back, and we've sold nobody. So right here, right now, Jadon Sancho is what our summer's all about. And that's what last summer should have been about. So what's so good about this summer at the moment? There's plenty of time left. I want to see Camavinga deal done. I want to see Varane deal done. And then I'll start to get more positive. But if we lose Pogba, that is a big problem. Regardless of whether we've got Varane, Sancho and Camavinga, losing Pogba's a problem. If we lose Pogba, we've got to get another midfielder to make it right. So there's a lot to be going on with. Ken says maybe rebuild was a wrong word, but we should let him go for free next season or sell him for a fee and hopefully use it to reinvest and not go to the Glazers' pocket. Ken, I think you're right there, mate. Mark, Donny was found taking Mike Phelan's daughter for a dodgy ride, as the Sun reports. Do you think this is why he could be sold? Says Bubby. I've heard nothing about that, and I wouldn't take that as being true, by the way. That was a super chat from something that I've not heard of at all. Man City said not buying forward players and Chelsea going for Haaland, says JD. And would you like Jorginho at United? Well, he'd never come to United, Yash, but I think he would revolutionise Manchester United's midfield, because we haven't got a player like that who can take the ball off the back four and feed the attack effectively. So, no, I wouldn't mind him. How will Camavinga be treated any differently than Ahmad? Well, sure, I think that's a valid point, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't sign the player. Ollie wants to try the 3-4-3 formation similar to Chelsea. This is why he wants an attacking right-back to come into the club so badly. Maybe this is the reason for the reports of Aaron Wan-Bissaka at centre-backs, and I'm excited, says Leo. I don't want to see United playing with 3 centre-backs and wing-backs. I don't want to see that at United. You know, we'd effectively... Because United wouldn't play a 3-4-3. You know how United would play. We'd play with a back 7 again. We'd have 2 full-backs, 3 centre-backs, McTominay and Fred, and it would become a back 7. We wouldn't be a 3-4-3 and it wouldn't be exciting. You know it and I know it. If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer tries to play a 3-4-3 like Chelsea, it would basically become a 5-3-2. Something like that. We'd have McTominay and Fred stood in front of 3 centre-backs with 2 full-backs, and we would never concede a goal, and we would maybe nick a goal, and it would be boring as shit. So I don't want to see United playing with 3 centre-backs, to be honest with you, but we'll have to see. Anyway, we've got an 8 o'clock show tonight. We've got guests on the show tonight. I think Ricky's on tonight and a couple of others, so that'll be a good chat. 8 o'clock on the United Stand. Thanks everyone for watching. Just a quick update there. Hopefully this Pogba thing can be turned around, but it's starting to build momentum around PSG, which I don't want to happen, but we'll have to wait and see. Thanks for watching. Speak to you later. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. And Ibrahim says, can you talk about the bias that calls for Maguire to have a proper pair, but when it comes to Pogba, he had to do it alone? Both same price, says Ibrahim. There you go. Maybe talk about that later. Mark, opinions on Højbjerg. Looks class. Tottenham paid 13 million. Why wasn't he interested? We always miss the bargains. We do always miss the bargains, which is why getting Camavinga would be very, very good. I'll speak to you all in a bit. Thanks for watching.